we also need to talk about the other wing for Chelsea, because Garnacho was actually really, really impressive, I thought, against Wolves. And it's the first, he's quietly been building up some good form, I think. Since the Champions League game, I think it was against Benfica, where he knocks the ball across and Rios, I think, tapped it into his own net. But since that game, he's quietly been building up, and there was so much when they signed Garnacho, there was so much controversy because of his attitude and all these extra things. Like no one doubted he was a player with a really high ceiling and a really big talent, but it was a case
of... He doesn't help himself looking so damn miserable all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he has really shown up, I think, for Chelsea in the past few weeks, no more so than he did against Wolves. So what did you make of his performance?
He made a very good impact. I think the first few weeks you got really frustrated in watching him down that left wing when he was coming in, when he was starting, and just not really taking on his man, because you know he can push it forward, he can beat them for pace and make something happen from that side. And we weren't seeing enough of it. It was get the ball, check back, go somewhere else. And that's the side of Maresca's football, whether it's Maresca or it's Garnacho that was doing it out of a lack of confidence, that frustrates Stamford Bridge. You know, they were booing when passes went backwards at the weekend. It's something that Maresca's been asked about ever since he was at the club. Yeah. The reaction to some of those more negative passes and not just going straight at your man. Pedro Neto, whether he gets an assist out of it or not, will relentlessly run at his man and track back and do that work as well, which is another side of Garnacho's game that is coming on, and Maresca has been praising him for as well, sort of putting that effort in off the ball or against the ball, more than what managers like to say. But he has certainly, I remember they had Lincoln away in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup. He started, might have been his first start for Chelsea, didn't really get a kick. The whole of the Lincoln end, the home end, were on his back every touch. A lot of rough tackles going in, and he was hooked off in the second half to the delights of Sincil Bank, and having not really made an impact. And you did sit and worry about whether he'd really get going, because he'd arrived with all that baggage from Manchester United, being in their bomb squad, falling out with a manager, and then we were just waiting for something to kickstart it. And it's not been a goal and then he's exploded. Like you said, it's been a slow build-up. Yeah. He is really starting to make an impact. The ball in for Gusto was a really clever cross right into the perfect area for him to head in. He really couldn't miss it. Someone with a scoring record like that would have been able to knock it in. And it just adds, because you've seen they've got so many options out wide, and it can be a hard decision as to where to go. Gittins has had his flashes, and then did really well against Wolves in the Cup, scored an incredible goal, created a couple of goals, dropped to the bench for Garnacho for the Sunderland game. Garnacho gets his goal as well in that Sunderland game, and then flips back and everyone's frustrated again, really, because of what happens later in that game, and he doesn't get the attention he deserves for that. But he is starting to get there and looking like the weapon that they need. And as we've spoken about with all this rotation and whether Maresca's a tin command or not, you need wingers that you can rely upon to do something, especially if Chelsea are going to continue to struggle at times against tight defences. Yeah, I think it was a really nice moment as well when he did get the assist for Neto, that Neto, he almost ran off to one side and then turned around and thought, no, I'll go and celebrate with Garnacho, and they both sat on the advertising hoardings together. He's insistent on making that a thing again. Yeah, he's tried after this other game and was trying to get somebody to come over and sit with him, and didn't get the full trio, and I think it was just two of them again, so he's slowly getting there. Yeah, so we've got Palmer's freezing cold celebration. We've got João Pedro does this, something like this, isn't it? Or is it that? I think it's this. I'm not going to attempt. And then we've got Garnacho sitting, I was going to go and sit on the desk, but maybe, I don't think you would join me if I did. And then we got Garnacho celebration as well. So celebrations all round for Chelsea.